Welcome back, gamers. So, I've been given some not exclusive but very entertaining reveals for you guys for the new Star Trek Lower Decks Challenger series that are going to be available starting December 6th. As you can see, you're going to get 4 decks, one after each of the characters on screen here. And if you were able to decode the thumbnail, you know exactly which one I was given. I do have the whole deck available to me right now, but I'm only going to give you guys a taste so far. I'm only allowed to share a couple right now, but you will be able to see the rest of these. I'll be able to reveal the rest in another video next week. So here's a little taste to whet your appetite and get us kind of thinking on what these characters are going to be really capable of. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you were able to figure out my pretty obtuse thumbnail, I was given Sam Rutherford, Resourceful Engineer. So, UVS Games asked which character I would want to reveal, and since I have no idea anything about Lower Decks, I told him to just give me whoever. And then I started looking at the actual characters, and I thought, you know, Sam is probably more my playstyle, so if they gave me him, it'd be pretty fun. And lo and behold, don't ask and you may receive. So Sam Rutherford, Resourceful Engineer, he's a 6 hand size 30 health character. He's got Ensign and Inventor as his character traits. It'd be good if we got Inventor retroactively put on Mei Hatsume. He has the Order, Void, and Water symbols. Those are 3 of my favorite symbols. I love the Order symbol personally. And he has 2 abilities, the first of which is a response. After a non-throw attack is played, switch its speed and damage. So he kind of works as an Elder Toguro for every non-throw attack. And he can just switch the speed and damage at response speed. So you don't get to do it after your rival boosts, you know, a whole bunch of damage and you've reduced speed so you can swap them. So you do kind of have to play ahead. But it's still not for nothing if your rival has a lot of big printed stat damage with low printed stat speed. That can kind of help you there. And then you also have this Enhance. This attack gets +1 or -1 speed or damage. So you can choose which one that you give, and it's just a handy +1 or -1 on every attack for free. And I think that's something really cool about this character. Both of his abilities are free. You don't have to worry about sacrificing foundations, flipping anything, or discarding cards or anything like that. He just does. And he very much feels like a character you have to try to manipulate. More like you have to plan what you're going to do. He's an inventor, so he's really going to want to plan ahead and figure out how to outmatch your opponent. I would say outwit, but outwit is now a thing, so you try to outthink your opponent. So our next reveal for you is Badgy, Vengeful Pal. Okay, I just had to make sure that this was coming up on the screen properly. So, yeah, this is an asset from the deck. Note I said an asset. More on that later. It is a 3 difficulty, 5 control, +1 mid-block asset. Badgy, Vengeful Pal. He has Breaker 1. I love Breaker. Ally and Tech. As a response, after you play this card, build it. Oh, and something else you'll notice. It has the Order Attuned symbol. So our character has 3 symbols, but every card in the deck is going to have an attuned symbol. I think except for 1, and that's only because I'm not remembering properly. But we'll see that in this reveal, so we'll be able to figure out if I'm insane or not. Don't answer that. But all of the cards in the deck proper are going to be attuned symbols, as opposed to the 3 set symbols on our character. So we've seen this in like the Challenger series for Attack on Titan, where you had your 2 characters and the entire deck was air attuned. So I think that might be what they're going for moving forward. And I will say, not all of these cards have the Order Attune symbol, so watch out for that. But response, after you play this card, build it. Thank God it doesn't have a Mimic symbol. And then Enhance, once per turn, your your attack gets +3 damage. Any player may play this ability. So you can play it on your turn, and your rival can play it on their turn, but it only gets to be played once per turn. So what could be funny is if your rival plays an attack and they do like a first enhance, you can say once per turn. Well, no, I don't think you'd be able to do that because it does say your turn. So the turn player would be the only one able to play this ability. But this just means both players get access to a +3 damage for free. Little spooky, but +3 damage is nothing to sneeze at. And again, if you can outthink your opponent, you might not have to worry about this. If you have a way to commit Badgy, perhaps, or destroy him on your turn so your rival can't use that ability. And I do love this little tagline here. I'm gonna wear your skin. Spooky. Alright, and he looks like the little Star Trek badge, which I guess is how he got his name. Again, I know nothing about lower decks. I'm taking all of this kind of at face value. But he's a creepy little dude. Moving on, we have the USS Catos NCC-75567. Thank you for not forcing us to print out deck lists by hand anymore. So this is the card I wasn't sure had attuned symbols, and as you can see, it does not. It has Chaos, Life, Order, and Void, so all 4 of the characters from lower decks are able to use this card. And notice we have our UR here, our character, and we'll see some other rarities, common, uncommon. This one's an SR. So this means we get an SR card in our lower decks. I'm going to assume that everyone gets this ship because they're all part of the crew. But this is a unique asset. It's a 6/4 with a +3 difficulty. 6/4 is kind of rough, especially running on an asset. It is a unique, and it is a ship. So we have ship as a keyword. So does that mean we're going to get more Star Trek-based sets, either lower decks? Personally, I want a Next Generation set. UVS Games, if you guys listen to me, if you guys watch my stuff, I want a Next Generation set so I can have a Q deck. I loved how Q annoyed the hell out of Picard all the time, and I really want a Q deck, and I want to know what kind of random crazy shite he's going to be doing. So, yeah, so ship is something. What else could be ships? Like pirate ships? Maybe we'll get some Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Black Flag was a big game, I think. I don't know. I didn't want to go straight to Pirates of the Caribbean because Disney's hard to work with. But if we're getting ships in, yeah, I could definitely see more Star Trek style stuff if we're getting ship as a keyword. So that's pretty cool. And as a form, once per turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 to your hand, 1 to the bottom of your deck, and put 1 on top of your deck. So you get to know what your next check is, you get any of those 3 cards you want, and the card you want the least goes to the bottom of the deck. And that is just a once per turn form. So you can do that at the very beginning of your turn so you know what your first check for your first attack is going to be. That is huge. 6/4 on an asset, maybe not the best, but also, this does have a mimic symbol, so you can form once per turn and then commit it and not care about it at all because it's got the chaos symbol. And mimic, of course, just needs to tutor more cards to mimic's hand. That's 100% fair. But yeah, seeing, and I do like the outline here that we have. It is very future-esque, very sci-fi, and you'll be able to see that better on because you didn't see it really well on Badgy because it's doesn't have the borders because it's the Ultra. Yeah, but you'll be able to see it on the other ones. I really like how they did the layout for this. It does feel very Star Trek, very sci-fi esque. So without further ado, moving on to Chared Alien Sploof. So we'll see it better on the other ones, I promise, because this is again an Ultra. This is a 4/3, 3 low for 5, 2 high block with the tech keyword. I'm so glad we're getting more tech support. And it's got Blitz. Your rival must commit 1 foundation as an additional cost to play enhance abilities during this attack. That's strong. That's a very powerful ability, especially if you can stack up a bunch of small like Sam's own +1 for this attack is +1 speed or -1 speed or damage. If you can do that and just stack a whole bunch of these up, if your rival wants to do anything, they have to commit an extra foundation. So every one of their abilities, they have to stun 1. And that, if you can stack enough of these bonuses up to make this a threat, can be really powerful. And then response, after you play this attack, it gets +2 damage for each other tech attack in your card pool. So, thankfully, Mei Hatsume, order attuned, she has the order symbol, this is going to be a tech kill card for her. So that's really, really good. I like that. I like this a lot. I will admit I was on the fence about the Star Trek Lower Deck Challenger series because, like I said, I have no affiliation with the property. I don't know anything about them. So I was just kind of going to wait and see what came in them before I decided which ones I wanted to get. I'm definitely getting Sam because the tech stuff, I love Mei Hatsume, and Sam is my play speed, so I have to get these decks now. So this is going to be really fun. Next we have Redirect Power to Shields. And you can see it's kind of sci-fi-y. It's an order attuned foundation, 2/5 with a 3 mid block. Response commit, sacrifice 1 foundation. Before you take damage from from any attack, reduce the damage you would take by 3. So it's kind of like deflect, because I guess you have deflector shields, but you just commit this and sacrifice a foundation, and that's your cost. Mind you, you can commit this and sacrifice itself for its own ability to get -3 damage that you would take, because it doesn't reduce the damage of the attack before the damage step like deflect does. So even on like a partial block or a throw, this is whatever damage you're going to take after the damage step, that damage is reduced by 3. So it's not, before the block step or just after the block step before damage. This is 3 less damage I'm taking solidly. So you could reduce something like a throw to where you're going to take 3 damage, and then you're just going to take no damage. So really cool. I love defensive foundations like this. Next we have Cyborg Slap. And see, you can kind of see, you can't see my hand, but you can kind of see the border there, where you see like the EX3, the tech. It's kind of got that space visor, kind of like it's his little eyepiece here. So that's really fun. It's a 3/3, 2 low for 4, 2 high block, EX3 and tech. So as an enhance in your hand, you may discard this card. This attack gets +2 or -2 damage. And I love how he's just slapping the Borg's face with his own hand, kind of like Shiva from Mortal Kombat. I'm going to smack you with your own hand. So from your hand as an enhance, you can just discard this card for +2 or -2 damage. So that's kind of a fun little hand trap. It's a 3 diff attack, so it's probably not going to be too big anyway. But yeah, not bad. Next we have Strange Energies. Strange Energies. It's a 0/5 action with a 2 low block and the tech keyword, so we have tech on an action. It has the void symbol, as does Cyborg Slap. Cyborg Slap and Strange Energies are void attuned, so these will be our first void attuned cards. And it says response, after your rival plays a blitz ability or a non-character enhance ability, your rival checks against a 7. If they fail, cancel that ability. So some of these incredibly strong blitzes, we're finally seeing some anti-blitz stuff from Origins of Power, but that costs you to play an action, I think, sacrifice a foundation. But this one's just, hey, make a check of 7. Oh, you checked a 3? How bad do you want to play that ability? And it just says non-character enhance or a blitz. So this could be, you could cancel powerfuls, you can cancel echoes, you can cancel breakers, which I wouldn't do this on a breaker because you're clogging your card pool, but it could come in handy, especially if your rival is all stunned out, or they're just really checking bad. Even if they check a 5, they have to commit 2 foundations to use that one ability. Is it really worth it to them? Because now you're going to be able to throw all of your attacks on your turn, if they don't kill you, And you'd be like, oh, my high speed, low damage moves, I'm going to swap them as Sam because you can't block me, and I'm going to give everything +1 speed, and I'm just going to run you over with these now low damage, high speed moves. So that could find a place. And I just really like this ability of kind of making your rival think about what they really want to do. Again, it's that kind of outplaying and outthinking your rival of, okay, if they're trying to stop this blitz, maybe I commit for it because they can't stop what I'm trying to do, and then you stop it anyway, and they've committed everything for nothing. And if you have any, like, check hacking, this could also work with that. If you have, what's the ability that says after your rival makes a check, it gets, like, -1? There's plenty of them. I'm not sure how many have the void symbol. But hey, the character just has the void symbol. So if you have like an evil void character, you can run it on evil with all of evil's check hacks and just run this just to make your opponent have to check even more. Now let me do some quick math here, because I have to show you 8 cards today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, the 8th and final card I'm going to show you is something I completely forgot about, because Challenger series come with 2 characters. I forgot about that. And we get, for our second character, Sam Rutherford, Devron Racer. So instead of being a 630, he's a 721. He has Inventor instead of Inventor Ensign, so this is probably before he signed up for Star Command. And instead of having Order Void Water, he has Air Order Void. So different symbol spread here. He has a static that says your tech attacks get +2 speed. I'll say that again. My patchwork babies start with +2 speed. That's already ridiculous. I love it. Enhance once per turn. Excuse me, I have hiccups. Enhance once per turn. End this enhance step. You get to look your rival in the eye and say, I get to decide when we're done here. You get 1 enhance. Make it count. I love characters like this. Obviously, this is kind of a bit of a callback to Tenya Ida 1 from the original My Hero Academia set. He could do something like this. But he also had an ability to once per turn, play the first enhance during your rival's attack. You get to choose to play the first enhance, so that's pretty cool. No, you could choose to play the first enhance, but once per turn, and then he had a foundation that allowed you to skip the end the enhance step. But there was a character when I started playing called Catos, who had a once per turn end this attack's enhance step, but I think it also gave +3 damage. So as a 721, that's pretty a neat defensive ability to say, I'm just gonna pretty much cut 1 attack off at the pass. Or if it's your turn and you know your rival has a bunch of speed resets or is playing like Rodon and they can't block your printed speed move, especially if it gets +2 speed, you just play your attack and then first enhance, end the enhance step. They don't get any of their defenses. They can't Rodan. They can't remove something to use combined firepower to block. They can't do any of their speed hate stuff. It's a really powerful ability that cuts both ways. And while original Sam was kind of more my playstyle, this Sam 2.0, Sam Rutherford Devron Racer is 100% my speed. No pun intended. I love control characters like this that give me the full control or more control over what happens during both players' turns. I absolutely adore this, and this character right here is why I'm going to invest in this set. Because of this character right here and all the things that my mind is already going crazy with. But he also has a first form. So first form is after you draw your cards for your draw step, the first action you take is your first form. So first form, if your rival has 8 or more ready foundations, draw 1 card, your rival commits 1 foundation. If you have 8 or more foundations ready, I am now an 8-hander and stun 1. Before you can do anything. That is incredibly powerful. And again, he has order, So cards like Patchwork Babies and like Walk the Dogs. You can play Patchwork Babies. You can play Walk the Dogs. There are some other tech attacks that I was thinking. I don't have Ultra pulled up, so let me just pull Ultra up on my phone while I'm talking to you guys. Order tech. That is Titan. We need tech. Alright, order tech. You have things like Heartbeat Surround, which says your next attack is +1 damage for each of its keywords. So that, and if it's a tech attack, it starts with 2 speed, and then you can just end the enhanced step. So you're like, cool, this attack got a whole bunch of stats just for being played, and now I'm going to end the enhanced step, and you're going to have to deal with it. Yeah, we have Patchwork Baby. We have Audio Reverberation, which works with charges, and there's a lot of tech charges. Chronostasis Trigger is a good tech. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff for, like, Giro 3 and Cernidai. Void, we don't have a lot of tech. And then Air, do we have a lot of tech on Air? We have Deadly Fire and Chivalrous Chariot Advance. So we don't have a lot of tech, however... Whoops. That's good. Ooh, got a cat in my lap. 3 out of the 4 characters for Lower Decks, Beckett, Brad, and Sam, all have order. So if any of them have any tech cards, Sam can absolutely take advantage of using his comrades' tech cards. If they have any other tech attacks, and considering how sci-fi and futuristic this is, I'm sure they're going to have like the phasers or stuff like that. I think Devron Tendi is the only one who does not have order as one of her symbols. She's Chaos, Fire, Life. She's Jester, basically. But this is insane. I'm going to have so much fun playing, especially Sam Rutherford Devron Racer. Original Sam is really good as kind of like a control piece of controlling speed and damage, but being able to tell you when you can and can't use enhances is 100% my speed. I am going to have so much fun with this character that the minute I got this email with all of these files, I was like, oh yeah, there's a second character. I totally forgot about that, and immediately started drooling in theory crafting, because it takes me back to when I was first learning the game and playing Cadoth and giving all of my locals migraines because they hated that I could tell them, oh yeah, by the way, no, you don't get to play enhances anymore. So it's a very powerful ability, especially on a character, to just once per turn, both players' turns, I can shut down one attack. Yeah, very, very big I'm the captain now energy. But yeah, so that is the first 8 for Sam Rutherford, Devron Racer / Sam Rutherford Resourceful Engineer. And again, Star Trek Lower Decks will be coming out December 6th, just in time for the holidays, so talk to your LGSs and get your pre-orders in if you haven't already, or just see if they're going to get them, because it's not video game or anime, a lot of stores might have been like kind of passing on them, so you might have to ask and say, hey, can we get these ordered? I know that because not a lot of my locals have seen this, and the shop we play at is specifically an anime store, we were all kind of hemming and hawing about Lower Decks. But now that I've seen what some of these cards can do, I'm excited. And I'm making sure that my LGS has some in stock, so that I can get my hands on them and show off how good these cards are going to be. And I will have next week the rest of Sam's kit to show you guys. And there are a whole bunch of other creators getting not only Sam's kit, but Brad, Devana, and Beckett, I think is the top one there. Multiple creators have been given each of these characters, so go check out all the other creators and see what they're doing. I do know that UVS, or UF... I've been recording a lot today. Versus is doing some really special stuff for their reveals, and it's going to be really funny. So go check them out, check all the other creators out, and get their takes on these cards. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, make it so.